The crystalline throne room of the Jothar Empire gleamed with bioluminescent patterns that pulsed across its walls like a living heartbeat. Empress Vexaria sat upon her elevated seat, her four eyes blazing with ancient authority as she surveyed the assembled court. Her chitinous exoskeleton reflected the chamber's eerie light, making her appear even more formidable than usual. At the center of the room stood two humans, bound in energy restraints that hummed with lethal potential. The woman, Kirsten, kept her gaze lowered, her blonde hair falling across her face. Beside her, Alexander stood rigid, his jaw clenched, fighting every instinct that screamed at him to look up. "You dare trespass in Jothar's space." Vexaria's voice reverberated through the chamber, translated instantly by neural implants. "You pathetic mammals think you can violate our borders with impunity?" Kirsten spoke carefully, her voice steady despite their dire circumstances. "Your Majesty, we were conducting peaceful exploration. Our navigation systems malfunctioned near the Void Nebula. We meant no." Silence. The Empress's mandibles clicked in fury. She rose from her throne, her 6 limbs carrying her down the steps with predatory grace. "Every species that enters our territory makes excuses. Every single one." Alexander's muscles tensed. Through his peripheral vision, he watched the Empress approach. In Jothar culture, direct eye contact with royalty was the ultimate insult, punishable by immediate execution. But every fiber of his being rebelled against this forced submission. Vexaria circled them slowly, her claws clicking against the polished floor. "Do you know how many civilizations have fallen before the Jothar Empire? 47. 47 species that thought themselves worthy of the stars." She paused directly in front of Alexander, and not one of them could even look me in the eye before they died. Alexander's fists clenched within his restraints. He could feel her presence, smell the strange metallic scent of her biochemistry. His heart hammered against his ribs. "Look at me," Vexaria commanded, her voice dropping to a dangerous whisper. Alexander kept his gaze fixed on the floor. "I said look at me." "Don't, Alex," Kirsten whispered urgently. "Please." But something inside Alexander snapped. Maybe it was the months of running, of hiding, of bowing before every alien authority that deemed humanity lesser. Maybe it was exhaustion, or pride, or simple human stubbornness. Whatever it was, Alexander slowly raised his head. His brown eyes met all 4 of the Empress's glowing orbs. The throne room fell deathly silent. Every courtier froze. Even the bioluminescent walls seemed to dim. Vexaria's mandibles spread wide, revealing rows of crystalline teeth. "Look at me again, and you're dead, human." But Alexander didn't look away. He held her gaze, unflinching, unafraid. In that moment, something passed between them, something the Empress hadn't experienced in her 3 centuries of rule. This human wasn't challenging her out of ignorance or stupidity. He was challenging her because he refused to be broken. "Kill him," she ordered her guards. Slowly, 2 Jothar warriors moved forward, their plasma lances humming to life. "Wait," Kirsten shouted. "Please, Your Majesty. He doesn't understand your customs fully. He's been injured, his neural implant isn't. His understanding is irrelevant." Vexaria cut her off. "He has committed the ultimate offense." But even as she spoke, something gnawed at the Empress's mind. She had seen countless beings face death. Some begged, some screamed, some went catatonic with fear. But this human just kept staring at her with those strange, binocular eyes. There was no hatred in them, no malice, just an unshakable determination. "Take them to the holding cells," Vexaria said suddenly. "I will decide their fate after the council meeting." The guards hesitated, confused by the deviation from protocol, but they obeyed. 3 days passed. Vexaria found herself inexplicably disturbed. She reviewed the humans' ship logs, their planetary database, their cultural files. What she discovered shook the foundations of her understanding. Humans didn't lower their eyes out of fear or respect for hierarchy. They looked each other in the eye as a sign of honesty, of connection, of mutual recognition. To refuse eye contact in human culture was often seen as dishonest or shameful. But more than that, she learned about human history. She read about their wars, their struggles, their impossible resilience. Species that had nearly destroyed themselves dozens of times, yet always clawed back from the brink. beings who turned their own planet's hostility into a forge for unbreakable will. She learned about human emotions, how they bonded with other species, how they felt empathy even for their enemies, how they could hold grief and hope simultaneously in their strange, complicated minds. She learned about their art, their music, their inexplicable tendency to pack bond with literally anything. Most disturbing of all, she learned about their eyes. Humans were persistence hunters. Those binocular eyes had evolved to track prey across vast distances, to never give up, to never stop pursuing. When a human looked at you, they saw you in a way few species could comprehend. On the fourth day, Vexaria returned to the holding cells alone. Alexander stood as she entered, and once again, his eyes met hers. "Why?" she asked simply. "Why what, Your Majesty? Why do you insist on this challenge? You know it means death." Alexander was quiet for a moment. "In my culture, refusing to look at someone means you think they're not worth seeing. When I look at you, I'm not challenging you. I'm acknowledging you as an equal consciousness in this universe. I'm saying, I see you, and you are real, and you matter." Something cracked in Vexaria's carefully maintained composure. In 300 years, no one had ever said such words to her. She was feared, obeyed, worshipped even. But seen? Truly seen. "Your species is dangerous," she said softly. "Not because you're strong, or numerous, or technologically advanced. You're dangerous because you refuse to accept the universe as it is. You insist on making connections where none should exist. You look for equals in a cosmos built on hierarchy. Is that so wrong?" Kirsten asked from her cell. Vexaria's mandibles clicked in what might have been Jother laughter. "Perhaps not. Perhaps that's exactly what the universe needs." She straightened, her decision made. "You're free to go. Your ship has been repaired. But hear this. Tell your people that the Jother Empire is watching. Not as enemies, but as interested observers." As they were escorted to their ship, Alexander paused at the doorway. "Thank you, Your Majesty. Don't thank me yet, human. Your species will either unite the galaxy or doom it. I merely want to see which." She paused. "And Alexander, next time you visit, you have my permission to look me in the eye. You've earned it." As their ship departed, Vexaria stood at her observation deck, watching them go. For the first time in centuries, she felt something she'd thought long dead: hope. These humans, with their stubborn eyes and impossible hearts, might just teach the universe what it meant to truly see one another. And perhaps, she thought, that was the most revolutionary thing of all. The end.